Hello guys, good afternoon. My name is Tutor Joseph and you're welcome to my YouTube channel, the Explicit Tutorials. In today's video, I shall be taking us oogenesis in AB 122. Oogenesis is the production of the female sex cell called what, the egg or the ovum. The egg is not the one they usually say 300 or 2150. No, it's not that one. This egg is found in the female body of what? An animal, alright? Now, oogenesis occurs in the follicle. During oogenesis, the primordial germ cell will undergo what? Mitosis to produce what? Oogonia. The primary germ cell that is during oogenesis, it will undergo mitosis to produce what? Oogonia. You know that in spermatogenesis, the primordial germ cell will produce what? A spermatogonia. Each spermatogonia will increase in size to produce what? A primary spermatocyte. It is not so in this case. Only one oogonium increases in size to produce what? A primary oocyte. Alright. Now this primary oocyte will now undergo two meiotic division. The first one produce what? Secondary oocyte and polar body. Oocyte and what? Polar body. Then the second division will produce another polar body. Alright, so please take note of this. The secondary oocyte is known as what? The functional egg. Don't forget that. Alright, functional egg. That is what? The secondary oocyte. Now, of course, you know that the primordial germ cell developed from the germinal epithelium cell. The germinal epithelium cell gives rise to the primordial germ cell. Alright, so in the first year at birth, there are about 200,000 to 400,000 follicles. Now, each oogonium, you know, oogonia is plural, oogonium is singular. Each oogonium is surrounded by a special type of cell called what? There is a different type of follicle called what? Granulosa cell. Granulosa cell envelopes the what? The oogonium. Then this granulosa cell will now develop to produce what? The primordial follicle. Primordial what? Follicle. Now at birth, what happens? There are about 200,000 to 400,000 what? Follicles. But only 200 to 400 complete what? Undergo complete development. Others will degenerate into cyst-like body called what? A tritic follicle. Please take notes. Alright, look at it. The oogonium is enveloped by the granulosa cell, which will now develop to what? The primordial follicle. This primordial follicle, I said at first year, you have about 200,000 to 400,000 of this what? Follicle, but only about 200 to 400 undergo complete what? Development. Then others will degenerate or die off to cyst-like body called what? A tritic follicle. And this atritic follicle does not have the ability to produce what? Egg. They'll ask you, a cyst-like body that does not have the ability to produce egg in the ovary is called which of these? It is called what? Atritic follicle. Take note of that. It is very, very important. Now, in the egg, the cells that make up the stroma of the ovary, the cells that make up the stroma of the ovary will now form a layer. You know, ovary is the female reproductive organ. Will now form a layer around this ovary, and that layer will now produce what is called what? Theca. So theca is that layer that surrounds the cells of the stroma of what? The ovary. Please take note of that. And the fluid filled portion of the follicle is called what? Antron. Take note of that. The fluid filled portion of the follicle is called what? Antron. Take note of that. It is very, very important. Now let us now discuss the egg of the female organism in food. The egg. This marker is giving me issues. Oh my god. It's giving me issues. Please pardon me, pardon me. It's a new marker. I don't know. I have enough ink inside. Okay. I have let me quickly give a diagram of the egg. And this outer membrane is called what? The vitelline membrane. Now this inner membrane is called what? Plasma membrane. It's called plasma membrane. Okay, now this one inside is definitely the nucleus. Okay. Hold on, let me draw this stuff very well. So we have vitelline membrane, plasma membrane. I need to get a marker of God. Get a marker. Now this part where you have more of this yolk, let me just do it like this. It's called yolky bud. It's called yolky cytoplasm. Alright, this part it's called the jelly coats. Jelly coats. This other one, of course, you know, is what? The nucleus. Alright. Which one again? Okay, this part that does not have this part is called what? Clear cytoplasm. Alright, then this other one is these two bodies here, the bodies here. These are we call them the polar bodies. Alright, so this is a diagram of what? The female egg. Now you know that during fertilization the sperm from the male organism will fuse together with the egg of the female organism to produce what? Zygote. That is what? Fertilization. Now you can see this outer membrane is called what? The vitelline membrane, and it is this membrane that prevents the entry of the sperm into the egg in order to fertilize it to produce what? Zygote. Now let me explain this. A typical egg that is ovum is made up of plasma membrane, cortical granules, and yolk droplets. Alright, so these are the three major constituents of what? The egg. Now beneath the cortical granules is what? The jelly coat. All right, it is what? The jelly coat. You now have the yolky part. You know that the yolk of this egg is to provide what? Nourishment to this what? Egg. It nourishes the egg, provides what? Nourishment. Now let us get started. You know, in males, there are two hormones that control what? Spermatogenesis. We have the hypothalamus and what? The anterior pituitary gland. The hypothalamus produces what? A type of gonadotrophins called what? Gonadotrophins releasing hormone, that is GnRH. As soon as it is produced, it travels to the anterior pituitary gland. Is stimulated to produce what? Follicle stimulating hormone and what? The luteinizing what? Hormone. The similar thing occurs here. Now the gonadotrophins, oh my god, the gonadotrophins releasing hormone will travel to the anterior pituitary gland to produce what? Follicle stimulating hormone. As soon as this follicle stimulating hormone is produced, it travels to the ovary. The ovary then produces what? Estrogen. You know that the ovary is the reproductive organ of what? Females. Now the estrogen is produced. There are two targets of the estrogen. One, the uterus, and what? The anterior pituitary gland. These are the two targets of what? The estrogen. As soon as it gets to where the estrogen is, it stimulates it, repairs it, and enhance the development of the lining of the uterus called what? Endometrium. All right. The lining of the uterus or the womb is called what? Endometrium. Then in the anterior pituitary gland, it inhibits it. It prevents it from producing what? Follicle stimulating what? Hormone. Meanwhile, take note of this. The luteinizing hormone and this estrogen are produced at a surge, very quick. Luteinizing stimulating hormone and estrogen are produced at a surge. They will ask you which of these is produced at a surge. It is luteinizing hormone and what? Estrogen. Now, this luteinizing hormone carries out ovulation. It stimulates what? Ovulation. Now, the target of the luteinizing hormone is what? The ovaries. It is the ovaries. The function of the ovary is to produce what? Estrogen. Now, please take note. The Graafian follicle that was produced from the premolar follicle. Now that the premolar follicle develops into the Graafian follicle. Now, the Graafian follicle will now develop into what is called corpus luteum. Corpus luteum. The corpus luteum is what the Graafian follicle is developed into, and this corpus luteum is actually a yellow body. It is a yellow body. Now, this corpus luteum has the ability to produce both progesterone and what? Estrogen. Now, the progesterone is also the female hormone that is produced when the body of the female organism is at what? High temperature, and the progesterone is produced at a very high temperature. That is when the body of the female is at high temperature. So that is all about the egg. So did I jump anything? I made mention on the athlon, the theca, the ectritic follicle, and endometrium. Alright, so please take note of that. I said that the luteinizing hormone and the estrogen are produced at a surge. So at this point, we call it a day. Thanks for watching, and do have a wonderful day.